just a group of guys just saying what they feel and how they feel. I tend to be more open with my thoughts and a little X-rated sometimes. I'm Roy. I was going to say my name, that name. uh, I'm joined by two of the greatest guys in the world, Brandon and Jeremy. How you doing, fellas?
Doing great. Doing great.
All is well, brother. All is
Good.
well.
This week we got a special treat for you. We're bringing in a guest. I'm sure you're gonna like this. Um, so we're gonna start out with something little light because we're bringing in her and early. Fellas, work with me for a minute. A kid that was affiliated with gangs is discovered by a well-known producer who in 1993 goes to put out one most classic albums to this date. From there were situations within the organization which caused him to leave. Went to another record company. To me, he didn't do so well on his first outing, but kind of came back on the second one. Then he realigned with that producer that discovered him, and he's been making magic since '93. Uh, he's gone on to be in movies, not Oscar-nominated movies. We're talking Soul Plane. Okay, uh, he's been on TV with Martha Stewart. By now, you know I'm talking about Snoop Dogg. And the subject matter that I'm going with is he's a ambassador for this. And we talk about people that and I forgot to mention during that first album run, he was accused of murder. Well, he was acquitted. And we always talk about how people we mentioned a few names can't bounce back from their misdeeds. But my thing is Snoop Dogg good at reinventing himself, or is he just really overextending his 5 minutes of fame? I question it sometimes, but he's still around. He's doing this, he's doing that. America loves him now because they're putting him on national TV as an ambassador. Uh, it was funny that the torch almost looked like a blunt. Uh, but do you think he's really good at reinventing himself throughout this time, or he's just really finding ways to just stretch his 5 minutes of fame?
I
Elroy,
think
you go ahead, Brandon. You go first. Go ahead.
I
No,
think he
Jeremy,
got
you go first. Let
No,
Jeremy
okay.
go
I was
first
gonna,
for a change.
yeah, I was gonna
I
say, no, like if you look at Snoop, he internationally known, bro. Like, and he's been that way since day one. From even the murder trial, you know how, if I'm not mistaken, he got off because the queen of Britain, right? She made comments about him to actually help his case with that murder. So yeah, like look it up. Like so Snoop Dogg always been international. So I don't see him as overstaying his welcome or 5 seconds of fame. I think like he always had this charisma about him, and he always able to get it. Like he's a person who can find himself in different rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like he was on that cooking show and it was good. He's on a
Mm-hmm.
talk show and it was good. Like it seemed like everything he touches just turned to silver. You can say I won't say gold. You know what I'm saying? But it turns to silver. So I think it's just him. I think his charisma just carry on, and it started when he first came out. Like look it up. He was international from the first couple of years, man. And I think he got what he deserved. I think he just have this charisma that you can't match it. He's likable guy. So that's what I think about Snoop.
I did not know that Queen Elizabeth helped this man that much.
Yep.
I
Look it
mean, from
up. Look
19,
it up.
Wow.
I just looked it up. I just read it.
Told
That from
you.
1994 to 96, she was fighting, advocating for him
Told
to
Wow.
get him acquitted. That is crazy. I didn't know this. You just taught me. You just taught me something. I'm like,
She
yeah, I
wanted some of
don't.
that dizzle.
you.
but but as far as like him though, I just think he got his hand in so many things he can never go away. Like he political. He got talk shows. He with Martha Stewart. He can make white people laugh. He can make black people laugh. He can make Asian people laugh. And he got that what Marshawn Lynch has. He's just real, and they love that realness. And it just come off like it's authentic. It's not fake. It's nothing. It's it's him, and I think that's like you say, his charisma is just natural. It's just that's what I think. It's a natural gift for him because he can talk to anybody, be in any room. I knew when they had that story of him first going in the studio with it surrounded by Bloods, and he a Crip, and he was able to navigate that room. I'm like, he had a gift. He got a gift.
Hey, Brandon. I think Snoop is so smooth, man. I think he's the only person who's able to make smoking look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he made the world believe smoking weed was cool, bro. Like who can do that? Like who can pull it off? You know what I'm saying? During that time when
Man.
you had to dare to say no. You know what I'm saying? During that time, it didn't matter. Like he was the one guy who can actually make it like be cool. You know what I'm saying? So it was just him.
He's been in commercials, the pistachio commercials. Snoop Dogg does it in the dark, or he does it with smoke or something like that. Uh, uh, he's been everywhere, comedy shows. Yeah, America loves him. He's been on wrestling. He's been on two different promotions on during pay-per-views or like main event, regular nights. Even performing wrestling moves. He did a move off the top rope. It was kind of generic. You know how they come off the top rope with the elbow? He landed on his feet, then he landed on the person. And I thought it was kind of funny, but I'm like, they gave him that lane to do that. And then he did the rock signature move, the people's elbow on them. And
Hey, hey, not to cut you off, bro, but don't it look funny when he's so skinny?
so
he look.
during the verses with DMX, they were standing together, and DMX said, "We both can't take our shirts off. We'll be looking like the number 10." DMX was a little overweight, and Snoop has always been that small.
Yeah.
But I was sitting back smoking one day, and I was just like, "Damn, Snoop Dogg everywhere." But yeah, he seems to find his lane with pretty much everything that he does. I mean, no, he's not going to win an Oscar, but he entertains. People love him. People gravitate to him. He does this thing. And if you watch him a lot, he likes to imitate Yogi Bear a lot. And on a pay per view about 2 months ago, he was during the pay per view. He was a guest announcer, promoting his gin and juice drink. Have you tried that yet? Any of y'all?
Nah,
Never
I'm
heard of
just
it.
Yeah, he has a drink. It's a canned drink. Him and Dr. Dre are promoting it. It's called Gin and Juice. They got about 4 different flavors. I need to try it. I haven't go to the liquor store and I have to try it. But yeah, he was sitting there. He's promoting that, and then he does this Yogi Bear thing. I'm like, yeah, he does it all the time. But the guys surrounding him was just like busting their gut. They just thought that was the most hilarious thing in the world. But I guess I won't say I follow him, but I see him a lot. I'm like, yeah, that's nothing new. And he just seems to draw into the crowd. Like you said, Death Row was pretty much a blood organization, and him being a Crip and how he would navigate through them, he was their breakout star, and he didn't drop his flag for Suge or nothing. So, but you
that's
can they need to put some before and after pictures. I remember when he had the big fro, and now his hairline is like a little back and it's a little gray popping in, and I mean you can see. I don't know if y'all remember, he used to have this older gentleman in all his videos, his Uncle Junebug. He's starting to look just like him. He's starting to show his age a little bit. But yeah, he does seem to know how to reinvent himself. And believe it or not, there was a time when he almost went bankrupt. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
he
When he
he was
switched,
he had labels
yeah,
before.
when he
Yes, so he was pimping for a minute too. So he really wasn't into the music because he had a stable of girls that he would travel with, mostly on the West Coast, and do his business. He got so influenced by Don Magic Juan, he was doing it for himself for a minute, and that almost led to a breakup in his marriage. That occurrence. But yeah, I like Snoop. I fucks with Snoop. I still listen to Doggy Style, every now and then. I pull out the classics. That the second one, the Dog Father. Uh, I'm still trying to listen to it. There's one song on there I'll listen to no problem. It's called Gold Rush. But the other songs just like really hard because he was coming off of that Dr. Dre produced album to Dr. Dre not being there no more. And it's just like That was kind of his sophomore jinx. Maybe they was expecting that sound, but it was enough to keep him around and keep him going. And I think he made some pretty good albums after that. His last one on No Limit, uh, Last Meal. And then he came back, not so much with Death Row, but he got back with Dre. And he made a couple of great albums like that. I was looking at his discography. And yeah, I fucks with Snoop.
What album was Dog Pound? That was the fourth one, the third one.
Dog Pound.
Yeah.
That was a Dog Pound's album. Dog Pound.
What you mean?
Dog. It was called Dog Food.
Really?
Wait, it's called dog food? Like, wait, you
The
said
Dog
dog
Pound
food?
food. Yeah, dog food. Like
That's a crazy name.
like
Let me look
couch.
it up.
I always thought it's one he had one in the album called Dog Pound or something.
No, that was the name of Daz and Corrupt's group. He
Now,
had a,
now I gotta search.
and based on that, they was called DPG, Dog Pound Gangsters, which included Nate Dogg too. You know what? And I'm sorry I ran off. I flew off at the handle because we got some weird
Oh,
time constraints. This
documentary.
podcast by my man Roy Brown. He was a supporter of the podcast. Rest in peace, brother. Not a day goes by I don't think about you. Documentary, you say?
Yeah, documentary.
Documentary,
Documentary.
yes.
Yeah,
His
that's
name's wild, bro.
documentary.
So
I
him
know
and
it's
Dr.
something.
Dre are in the studio right now. Now you know the first album was called Doggy Style. They're in the studio making an album called Missionary. I'm not making that up.
Jeez.
I'm not making that up.
Jesus. Dang.
So
They must
yeah,
they gonna have Trina on that album, huh?
shit. Throwing in my latest crush, Ice Spice.
Yo, boy.
She
Hey,
huh?
that is you bring her up, I want to ask y'all. She was asked to freestyle, and guess what she started to do?
Twerking?
Twerk it. Twerk it. She ain't freestyle nothing. She just started twerking.
I don't think rappers today can freestyle. Honestly,
That's crazy.
I don't think rappers today can freestyle.
That's crazy, man.
What you
Where
mean?
the
You mean like
talent
in 30 and under? What you trying to say? 30 and under or rappers in general? Cause you also saying today as Kendrick Lamar, that's
Okay, I don't know
what you
if
saying.
Kendrick Lamar can freestyle. I've never seen him
I think he
freestyle.
can.
Um,
You seen J. Cole's freestyle? You seen Andre? Well, Andre is not a today's artist, but
so I can't even name some of today's artists. You know, the ones that just got their songs is mostly hooks, and I don't think they can freestyle because the
Okay.
content
Yeah.
of their songs don't. There's not enough. Like there's no effort put into it, much less learn to freestyle. Now, back in the day, you could get a rapper to freestyle on the spot. Well, they probably came ready with something pre-written, if you ask me. Because if you're going to get interviewed, you got to be ready for somebody to say, "Hey, can you spit something for us?" So,
I wanted to ask you since you a hip hop enthusiast. What happened? There was a story that I saw recently with LL Cool J and Jay Z. Somebody in New York walked up to LL Cool J and asked him to freestyle, and he was it was like his fresh off an album basically, and he was trying to freestyle based off of those rhymes, and he ran out, and they was giving him shit.
yes. So this is coming from LL. He
Mm.
was out there battling some other cats for a couple of hours. And, he went through all his material. And then Jay-Z and his crew pop up and they wanted to freestyle and he ran out of rhymes.
Wait, when this happened? This not recent.
This
I'm
is in the
guessing. When
90s.
this
This
happened?
is in the
This is
90s.
in the night. This was around the time of Mama said knock you out.
Okay. And he ran out of rhymes. That's tough,
Yeah.
man. What do you do?
Well,
When-
yeah. What do? You bow out. You say
you
you
walk
got
off.
me.
You
No.
walk off.
So him and Jay-Z as artists always had beef. So that when Jay-Z took over Def Jam, he saw it as his opportunity to really bury LL Cool J, using his power. And LL, he did his contractual 13th album and he was up. He couldn't fuck with Jay. Um, I just saw something. I just saw something recently on
On what?
I think we about to have our guest on.
Yeah, he stopped mid sentence. I just reach over. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, you one of these.
Against popular belief. I heard DMX was a good freestyler.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't know how true. I don't know how true it was, but that's what
little
I hear.
technical difficulties.
You said DMX what?
But supposedly a good freestyler.
Oh
Supposedly.
yeah.
Yes, he
I
Oh
haven't. I
was.
yeah.
never heard it. I never heard it. I
Oh
would love to
yeah.
hear it though.
You gotta look it up. That man, I swear that man could have been a preacher. He got bars. Like bars. Like he'll motivate an ant to lift up a brick, man.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, look it up. Look it
Okay.
up.